Good morning, students. This is the third revision video of the chapter Electoral Politics, and this video has been made for class 9th. In this particular video, we'll try to understand, we'll try to analyze the various challenges before the political parties, and thereafter we'll discuss what are the certain reforms that have been made in order to reform, in order to change the problems, in order to change the fate of the political party. So let us discuss this in detail. Now, what are the challenges? Challenges to free and fair election. The most important challenge is that here successive or excessive amount of money is invested. So during election, lots of money is invested. That is completely unaccounted. Candidates with excessive money enjoy an unfair advantage over smaller parties. Candidates, of course, the more the investment, the more will be returned. So here we need to understand that during election, most of the political parties, which are really very big political parties, they are investing more in the election. As a result, the voting is done in favor of those political parties. So that is why there is maximum chances for getting seats in the election. Now, similarly, candidates with criminal records dominate others and remove them from the electoral race by using coercion or force. So we need to understand here that first of all, excessive use of money is the first challenge, because excessive use of money is going to give unfair advantage to big political parties over the smaller political parties. After that, the candidates with criminal backgrounds, they are winning the election because they can easily topple down their competitors, they can easily remove down their competitors. Similarly, some political parties are dominated by family members who try to distribute tickets only to their relatives and families. So here dynastic succession will come, or you may find that only the tickets are given to the near and dear ones. So basically, in distribution of tickets, here the deserving candidates are neglected. So as a result, the candidates who are very nearby the particular political tycoons or the particular political big guns, they are going to get advantage. So these are the various problems or challenges before the free and fair election. Similarly, we need to understand that here, because of that, smaller political parties are going to get setback as compared to the big political parties. So how can we think of a fair competition? If big political parties will get the advantage over the smaller political parties, then we cannot expect a fair or a free and fair election. So because of the above reasons, many organizations and activists have been demanding a reformed electoral system. So because of that, there is a huge demand for reforming the electoral system, because there are certain loopholes that are hampering the functioning of the free and fair election. So let us discuss in detail. Now, reforms in politics. So what is the reforms? So far we discussed the challenges. So now come to the reforms. So we need to understand that over the years, in the political forum, on the different platform, this matter has been discussed, and certain reforms have been suggested by various commissions. Over the last 10 years, many reforms were done also in the political system or in the political electoral system, and thereafter many reforms has been suggested by the Supreme Court also. And in the light of the decision of the Supreme Court or the suggestion of the Supreme Court, many reforms has taken place. So now first one is a ceiling on election expenditure. The most important thing is to control the expenditure. At present, there is no limit on the amount a political party can spend in an election or on a candidate. But the Commission has put a cap on individual candidates spending for the Lok Sabha election, that is rupees 50 to 70 lakh. And in case of assembly election, it is 20 to 28 lakh. So we need to understand here, certain cap must be imposed. So here the candidates will get the chance to win the election if they will stand in equal competition with other candidates. Or in other words, all the political party must spend whatever has been decided by the Election Commission of India. In that case, all the political parties will stand in the real competition. Apart from that, we need to understand one major suggestion was there, that state funding of election. It means that state should arrange one fund, and from that fund the money will be distributed to all the political parties, and from that money only the election would be contested. So here there will be a transparency will be maintained. But so far no state funding of election has been accepted or it has not been declined. It has not been completely accepted or formulated. Now, second is the restriction on exit poll. We all know that Election Commission issued a statement before the 2019 Lok Sabha election saying that exit poll results could be broadcasted only after the final phase of the elections were over. This was done to avoid prospective voters being misguided or prejudiced in any manner. Basically, through the exit poll, the the voters can be misguided. They can be prejudiced towards any political party. So exit poll were banned. And in fact, it was suggested, it was not completely banned, it was suggested that it should be banned. So exit poll should be banned. That is generally shown by the media that which political party is leading, in which political party, because we all know that elections are conducted in different phases. So suppose from after one phase or after two phase, the political party, the media is going to start the exit poll, then of course it is going to hamper the result in the second, third and fourth phase of election. So this is why exit poll must be banned or restrictions should be take place here. It is the second reform that that we should understand. Now, voting through postal ballot. We all know that in 2013 that Election Commission decided to expand the ambit of the postal ballot voting in the country. Previously, only Indian staff in mission abroad and defense personnel in a limited way could vote via postal ballots. Now, there are 6 categories of voters who can use their postal ballots: service voters, special voters, wives of service voters, and special voters. Voters subject to the preventive detention, voters on election duty, and notified voters. So we need to understand here one very important fact that around 2.5 lakh people are behind the jail as under trial, and they are still. It has not still been decided that whether this person is guilty or innocent. So they are facing the problem, and 2.5 lakh candidates under trials are there in our country, and they are completely excluded from the voting system, from our electoral system. So if we are talking about democracy, and in democracy, if every vote is counted, why those 2.5 lakh candidates, voters, in fact not candidates, voters has been excluded. So we need to understand this is very important fact that if we are going to talk about the real democracy, we must talk about the inclusive voting, and in that all the groups must get chance either through direct voting or through the postal ballot voting. Now, awareness is the most important. We all know that whenever we are going to talk about the percentage of voting, it is around 50, 60, 75. It has never achieved 70, 75, 80, 80, 90, not like that. So why? Because the lack of awareness regarding the election. The government decided to observe national 25th of January as National Voters Day to mark the Election Commission founding day. Read more on the National Voters Day here. We need to understand here that whatever has been decided through the National Voters Day, it was decided that most person must come forward. They must vote for the country. They must vote for their constituency. So this is how awareness was created, and once awareness was created, people became much vigilant. They became more alert. They became they got more attracted towards the election system. Now let us brief some important reforms that can take place or that has been taken place. Now, transparency about the background of the candidate, it should be maintained. It should be disclosed to the public. The public should know which is the right candidate, which is the wrong candidate. Freeing the election process from muscle and money power, and money and power must not get chance to hamper the election. Prohibiting the nexus between the businessman and politics. Here we all know that generally money is arranged by the businessman, and of course after that they are going to influence the political parties or the government. Availing all the citizens eligible to vote comfortable, friendly, and assured facilitation of vote casting. So candidate must get. That is why many times there is a lab or there is a particular festival related to the voting system in which voters are actually there are getting awareness, or they are using the different techniques to cast the vote. Now, upholding the secrecy of voters, of course, every voters are very important. So, voter secrecy must be maintained at any cost. Fair registration and recognition of the political parties and without any kind of influence. So, we need to understand that Election Commission of India should act in an impartial and a fair manner, and he should recognize or de-recognize the political parties on the basis of their present and past performance. So, we need to understand if these reforms will be imbibed, if these reforms will be taken into consideration, of course, our electoral system will improve to a great extent. So we need to understand that if we are going to talk about the electoral system, we must think about the other aspect also, that is the reform aspect. So this is what we need to discuss in this particular chapter. So far we discussed the electoral politics, we discussed the system of election, and at last we are discussing about challenges to political parties or electoral system, and after that last is the reforms. So this is all about in this chapter. Thank you so much.